Greetings, Wandering Beekeeper here. Welcome to Expectation Gulch. This is Minecraft 1.16.5, heavily modded. We'll start from in here. Yes, the Feywild mod is in this particular world. We're actually going to be looking at Botania, as suggested by the fact that this is Botania House, and at Ars Nouveau, which produced the warding blocks that keep it safe. A few other things going on here. We're going to look at Botania today in this video. Now, this started out as a ghost town. I literally found a ghost town out in the desert. This was a zombie village. I fixed it up and have been working here ever since. This particular building is the one I started in. So, let's look at Botania. Botania revolves around flowers and around nature magic. Uses a nature magic metaphor. So, for example, let's start here with this whole complex situation and just work through it piece by piece. First off, this is a mana pool. The blue liquid, glowing liquid in there is mana. That is magical energy. It is kept in a pool. As such, it can be here is a Terra Shatterer. This is a Botania artifact, a pickaxe, mana-powered, that can do awesome amounts of work. I'm going to just huck it into the mana pool and find my forest so that I can see. There we go. This mana pool is currently set to export rather than energy rather than import it. And we can see the level of mana in the pool dropping on the bar as well as in the pool itself as the Terra Shatterer absorbs the mana. This powers the pickaxe and allows it to do ever greater things. Let's stash the book real quick. Oh, every time I start this up, it gives me a new one. There we go. Yeah, cleaned it all right out, didn't it? The Terra Shatterer is currently at A rank and has a lot of mana to go to reach S rank. At A rank, it's still pretty impressive. So we'll throw... Oops. Yeah, getting it into this one is always a little tricky. Have to hit it just right to drop it in there. There we go. And make sure it's set correctly. There we go. The device above it is a mana spreader. This is a device that collects mana and then fires it off in a focused beam. This particular mana spreader is linked to this mana pool and it's powering that altar over there. We'll get to that later. The other mana spreaders, and there are two kinds here, yes, you are seeing that correctly. There's the standard, and then there is the elven mana spreader. The elven mana spreader is more effective. It's able to gather and transmit more mana more quickly. Very simple. It's an upgrade in energy production. Grab that. Now those two pools are dry, which is going to be a problem. I mean, I can fire up the pickaxe and do all sorts of amazing things, but we're going to need some stuff dealt with here. So let's start by stashing a few things. And all right, let's load this up. So this is an open crate. It's a Botania artifact, and it's simply a crate with no bottom. You put stuff in and it falls into the crate and it falls out the bottom. Makes it a useful dispenser device. These are endoflames. These are flowers that consume combustibles and produce mana. Much like regular flowers consume water and sunlight and produce oxygen, consume CO2 and produce oxygen, this little sucker there we go. See the endoflames start lighting up. What we're seeing are areas of effect for each of these for these things. When I point to them, it's letting me see their effective radius. It also shows me that this endoflame is linked to that mana spreader. So the mana that this flower puts out will be collected by that mana spreader and fired off. As we can see the pulses of mana. The other spreaders are just firing transmission beams. That one is actually picking up mana from its endoflames, which are close enough to the cold drop to grab some of it. The fat pulse is the mana going in. That's a splitter. It's all focused on a mana splitter so that the mana coming in is divided evenly among the 4 mana pools. We can power up as many of these as we need to. Yes, I'm using give commands. I'm not going to take the time. That was a creeper. I'm not going to take the time to go mine the resources while I'm busy working through a magic mod. I have done vanilla Minecraft in survival mode. I have built an Empire of One. There was a blog series titled Empire of One, in which I looked at the colonialist and imperialist aspects of the game mechanic, and also at the sprawling empire I built in survival mode. So I've proven now that I can do it. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to use give commands to get the materials I need in order to feed all these mana spreaders, because I need all of them fired up. Literally. Fired up. Haha. There's an altar here. This is an agglomeration plate. This platform takes 3 different magical components and produces terrasteel. Terrasteel is initially your end all and be all. You have mana steel, which is created by throwing iron into a mana pool. You have terrasteel, which requires charged diamonds and so forth. And then there is elf steel, which happens after you get the gate open, and we'll get to the gate in a minute. The wand I'm carrying is the general tool. It, among other things, allows me to switch mana pools from input to output mode. That just affects what's put into them. If I drop a mana tablet, which is the squared icon there, a mana tablet is basically a battery. I can drop a mana tablet into the pool, fill it with mana, carry it off, drop it in another pool and empty it out, whatever, use it to power devices, so on and so forth. Yeah, you can see the mana building up and then dropping back down as it fires the pulse. This is going to be busy for a while. Let's go look at this stuff over here, because this is one of the big goals of Botania, is to build the portal, the Elven Gateway. This is not a portal you can pass through in the regular mod. It is possible to get through with a couple of additions. I have Feywild and I have Twilight Forest and so forth, so this can be passed through. But it normally, in the normal mod, this is where you go to trade your terrasteel and so forth for elven materials, upgrading further so that you end up with some really, really amazing stuff. me see, this. Elementium. I have an Elementium hoe, and I have Elementium shears. Elementium shears doesn't sound so fancy until you start working with them and realize that with a pair of Elementium shears, you can shear an entire flock of sheep from a distance. It has an area effect. The pillars of light are waypoints. Those are part of the map system that's also giving me the little round map in the corner. It's gotten dark, and it's not a good idea to be out and about after dark. Oh yes, I've been totally ignoring the bees, because the bees are going to be an entirely separate video. Let's go do a sleep really quick, because night. Very quickly, there we go, and now a lot of Botania starts and revolves around the petal apothecary. The petal apothecary is basically a giant grail or chalice, and it is where you make those amazing flowers. There are colored petals, and if you huck in the right colored petals and put in a seed, you get out the seed for various mystic flowers. Some of them are generating, like the Endoflame, which generates mana from combustible materials. There's another that generates mana from water. It consumes water source blocks. It's a little difficult to keep fed. Then there are functional flowers. This one is an aquapanthus. It keeps nearby vessels full of water. The mana pool powers it. So it has this mana pool that will power it. Yes, that is a fabulous mana pool. It cycles through the rainbow and back. Thank you for noticing. So every time I use this, it uses up water. The aquapanthus then immediately refills it. Let's see how that works. This is actually probably worth poking at. Let's pull out the Lexica Botanica. This is the book. There is a book. I haven't quite unlocked everything because I have not done the Ritual of Gaia. There is a huge boss fight called the Ritual of Gaia that is just... I'm not a fighter. I have yet to win it out if I'm not in creative mode. I can't win it in survival mode, so not a thing that I even try anymore. So we want to make something here. We have various things here. Let us look at functional flora. And look at the bergamute. The bergamute converts sound into mana. We got a whole heck of a lot of racket going on outside, don't we? This will take 2 green, an orange, and a redstone root. Let's see if we've got them ingredients. Here's a redstone root. Oh, let me put these in the backpack. There we go. And an orange. And 2 green. And my wheat seeds. Don't I have wheat seeds here? Oh, where have they gotten this time? Mooched them for some other mod, haven't I? There are... Let's do it. I'll just go get some fresh ones. There. While we're here, this is a pure daisy. It converts stone to white rock and converts, to living rock and converts wood to living wood, both of which are foundational materials for the Botania. You will use a lot of living wood and a lot of living rock. You will need a pure daisy on hand to be able to convert as needed. It takes about 10 seconds. I'm in the middle of a thing right now, so I'm not going to show you right now. Let's go back to here. We were, pardon my ADD. We are going to work the petal apothecary. So, toss in a green petal. We toss in another green petal. Toss in an orange petal. Now those 3 petals floating in there. We toss in a redstone root, at which point the equation is complete and it tells us add wheat seed to get your thing. So we will take this wheat seed and drop it in. And there's the aquapanthus. You see that? That quick, there was a wave of blue energy and the petal apothecary is refilled. In the meantime, we have a bergamot. So I'm going to take this bergamot around here. Here's some dirt. I'm going to plant it. See what happens. Well, herds of animals. It may not apply to this noise. Oh well. Hadn't tried that actually. It was an experiment so that I had something to show you with the making of the flower. Let's go through some of this stuff. These are runes that are made on the altar. They go into making further run items. These are monodiamonds. You take regular diamonds, you throw them in a monopool, they come out as monodiamonds. You take a monodiamond, and you take a monosteel ingot, and we'll look for a monopearl in the other box. See a monopearl right off. I don't see a monopearl. I thought I had some left. No problem. This is terrasteel armor, which is really pretty impressive. You're talking about 8 points of armor just from the chest plate, 3 points of armor toughness, and a 40% bonus there. It's really pretty impressive. The elementium, you trade your terrasteel through the elven portal for elementium, and you can make an elementium chest plate, which has not been enchanted. It doesn't have the extra bonuses, but it's still pretty impressive. From there, though, let us go on and go. Monopearl. There we go. Thank you. I need a monopearl. Because we're going to go fire up the agglomeration plate and we're going to make an ingot of terrasteel and show you how it's done. That monopool will provide the energy. That's a spark. There's another one over here. This device will require energy and it will tell the spark that's attached to it, hey, I need energy. The spark will reach out to the nearest available spark who can supply energy and say, hey, give me. Let's see. Pop that on there. Pop this on here. And that, and there, you see? There's the sparks firing energy across to that spark to power the agglomeration plate and create an ingot of terrasteel. and take the terrasteel we just created, run it down here. Come on. Huh. Okay. That's weird. It's supposed to bounce back. That's really weird. Okay. Something screwy going on here, folks. Let's see what's going on. We have I throw an ingot of terrasteel in here. It should have come back and didn't. That's really weird. Welcome to the other side of the portal. This is Alfheim. Not a place you want to stay too long. It's got some weird critters that you shouldn't mess with, and while there's dreamwood and such, it gets kind of sketch. So we're gonna drop back through the portal into our own world. I can. Ooey, come on, dang it! It's facing the wrong way. Yeah, move yourself. There we go. I don't know where our ingot went. It's supposed to come back out as elementium. Figure it out later. We have looked at a few things in Botania. It all starts with flowers. It works its way up to mana accumulation, manufacture of terrasteel, opening of gateways, and making some really extraordinary artifacts. This is enough for an overview, don't you think? I mean, I could go into working the altar and making runes and so forth, but that would take a while and it would be a more in-depth video, so this is enough. I'm the wandering beekeeper. Can't even say my name. I'm the wandering beekeeper. Go well.